Welcome to our second video on Americanism. And I'm trying new things here. I've been working late tonight. I'm actually at work. I just finished installing a server, and I wanted to get a video done. I know if I go home, there's a lot of different things going on in my house right now that I won't get into, so I won't be able to do it there. But I was kind of wanting to get this one done, so I'm going to do it here. So let's talk the second video. I kind of introduced you to the series I'm looking at, and this one is actually going to be on, and hopefully you can hear me okay. I might have to turn the volume up. I'm using my phone again, but it works for me here, so I'm going to try it again. So, Americanism. Again, if you've looked at any of my videos, I actually did a video 2 or 3 years ago on Am I an American Before I'm a Christian? You should watch that video before maybe watching these videos. I know it's been a couple years, but I consider myself a Christian and I have Christian values. However, in a way, you might see me talk a little more passionately about Americanism. And it's not that I'm not a Christian or anything, it's just that I live in the United States of America and I consider myself a participating member of such, and so I do more day-to-day, well, I guess as much an average working middle-class guy would, into my my country. It doesn't mean I favor it more than my religious side. Actually, I don't. I'm the other way around. But while the things I do here, walking around day to day, I cherish those rules and regulations of the United States of America. In fact, Americanism, if you look at the definition closely, is I think it's attachment or allegiance to the traditions, institutions, and ideology of the United States of America. I think I got that right. So in a nutshell, means that you basically almost worship the United States of America, or at least what it was founded on, the ideology more for me, the ideological and actually in traditional parts of it. The institutions, maybe. But basically, as far as Americanism goes, next 2 or 3 videos are going to be on how Americanism came about, or basically the birth of the United States of America and why it was founded. Not so much what dates happened where, but why it was founded. So, but Americanism itself is the belief in those traditions, institutions, and ideology of the idea of the United States of America. One of my subscribers that I actually really enjoyed talking to, I'm glad he responded to one of my videos, his name's Finlark, and he actually said he was interested in my thoughts on the American experiment. And I had to think about that for a second, and because I lived here my whole life. Well, I mean, I've been deployed overseas in the military, you know, I lived in Europe and other places, and the Middle East and such. But, you know, I was born here, and I've been an American since I was born. And I know the term American experiment. I'm just going to say my opinion of the American experiment, it was a success. As in the idea and how, as far as an ideology. I think any problems that have come about in this country have not been because of Americanism. It's been because of corrupt people and corrupt groups and flaws in the system or loopholes in the system that have been, I can't think of the words, I do apologize. I have an 8th grade vocabulary, sorry about that. And I know I'm talking a little low and I shouldn't when my phone's so far away. I do apologize. I might have to totally get rid of this whole video if it doesn't sound right. Corrupt people and organizations will find loopholes and I can't think of the word, but basically abuse the system. So basically 3 documents that besides, again, I'm a Christian too, so obviously the Holy Scriptures, the Bible, obviously have a higher place for me. But as far as earthly stuff goes, there's basically 4 documents, 3.5 depending how you look at them. You got this sucker right here. I borrowed these documents. The National Archives of the United States was nice enough to let me borrow these documents, which was really cool. I hope I don't damage it. I ripped a little bit in the bottom. That shouldn't be too bad. The Constitution of the United States, which if you haven't read it, is a really cool document just to read. It was really well thought out. So the Constitution, which basically is the law of the land for the United States, as far as how different levels of government interact with each other, which we'll go into in another video. So you got the Constitution of the United States, which is the document, pretty much. Another one that came out a little before, Declaration of Independence. This is a very old copy. I'm just joking around. I say I borrowed it from the National Archives. Obviously, I didn't. Okay, you can buy these really cool mementos or geez, I can't think of any words today. Souvenirs. This one here, as you can see, is really dark. It's because I've had this since I was like 10 years old. So I'm 49 right now. So this one is actually very old age paper. Declaration of Independence was actually separated us from Great Britain back in 1776. That holiday just went by a little while ago. So the Declaration of Independence, which established us as free united colonies, and then the Constitution of the United States, which set up all the rules that we pretty much follow nowadays, with the addition of this one here, which is basically what we call the Bill of Rights. People thought the Constitution was weak because it didn't specifically state certain freedoms that what they call the anti-federalists, and I'll do that, a little explanation later too. We had the Federalists who supported the Constitution, the anti-federalists who didn't support the Constitution the way it was. They want to change it. So one of the big compromises was to come up with this document. 10 amendments were added to the Constitution that guaranteed rights that weren't as explained or spelled out as much as they should have been, maybe to everybody's content, I guess. Free speech, freedom of religion, right to bear arms, which is still argued a little bit today, unlawful search and seizure, all that is spelled out pretty well in the Bill of Rights. So this was added to the Constitution in 1791, I believe. Yep, 1791. So, pretty good, huh? Yeah. So those documents, no, I did not borrow those from National Archive. Please don't call anybody. But these thin pieces of paper, basically is the idea of America, the United States of America. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, or another version is life, liberty, and property. Americanism is the best system in the world. I know there's other ones that are close. I grant that. I think I said that in my last video. I can't remember. Just north of us, Canada comes very close. And other countries in Europe come very close. And other parts of the world. But this is still the best system. And I'm not saying that because I'm an American. I just know a lot about it because I'm here. And yes, I raised my right hand and I said I would defend that Constitution against all enemies, both foreign and domestic and so forth. So yes, I'm obviously very attached to it. I believe there's a lot of people out there trying to destroy it, both internally and externally, which I would do almost anything I could to prevent that. But those few smart individuals that set this all up way back when, over 200 years ago, did a really great job, in my opinion. And it's people that have tried to get around the system and find loopholes in it that have made all the problems. Greed, basically. Greed, power, that kind of thing. There's one document that's not here, and I'll close on that. It's called, and I wish I had it. I'm going to get one eventually. I'm a big fan of it. It's called the Articles of Confederation, which is actually the United States of America's first constitution. And basically what that was that it was a union of the states. And we're going to talk about that one as well because it has a lot to do with states' rights. And you might have heard of states' rights and all of the states, United States, not all of them, but there's actually exit groups like Britain's Brexit, I think they called it. And there was some in the United States. Texas did one, California does one. New Hampshire, which I'm from, has a movement, a separatist movement. And they even have a New England separatist movement, which is, if you know anything about the United States, New England is like Maine, New Hampshire, Vermont, like 6 states. Connecticut, Rhode Island, Massachusetts. So the Articles of Confederation deals with that. And that actually was a very good document. The problem was it was such a loose confederation that a lot of things didn't work. So they had to improve on it, and that's when they came up with the idea for the Constitution. And again, we'll get into that later. I'm already pushing 10 minutes. So Americanism, basically the allegiance or affection, or I forget the exact name, attraction to the traditions, the institutions, and ideology, mostly the ideology, of the idea of the United States of America. So to answer the question about the American experiment, Philolog, I tell you, I think it was a success, and I'm going to talk more about it, and I hope the rest of you out there who watch this video, if there are some people watching it, no one's watched my first one yet, but that's okay. I remember I said this was for my benefit. If I start getting into teaching down the road, which I hope to do more, I can maybe use some of these videos, so we'll see as I get older and get more gray hair. So again, thanks for watching. The next video we're going to do is actually the start of Americanism, which is the idea of the colonies in North America freeing themselves from Great Britain and coming together to form one country and what that would entail. So thanks for watching, and have a great day.